In the ring for intermediate class 3, we have Taylor Greenberg, Clay Dees, Randall Tate, Hunter Dennis, Samuel Carroll, Luke Bernini Dykes, Aiden Butcher, Peyton Williams, Rachel Miller, and Autry Pendarvis. We'd also like to recognize our gold sponsors of this year's fair. The gold sponsors are the Alachua County Cattlemen's Association, the Alachua County Solid Waste and Resource Recovery Department, Gatorland Kubota, One Blood, Emmerler Family Farms, and Gator Solutions. Let's give those sponsors a big round of applause.
We could keep these two young men out of this heat, excuse the rest, and again, just make sure you got those pigs driving. Some of them, again, you've got some partners that don't want to cooperate with you. There's a few of you that do a pretty good job driving your pigs, but then you don't pay attention to where I'm at. I can kind of see you turn your gaze to outside the ring or looking here, looking there, and you almost have to have, be using both eyes, using your peripheral vision, looking at knowing where your pig is in relation to you, knowing where the judge is in relation to you. So you kind of got to be looking out of both eyes in different directions at the same time, which is can be difficult to do. But I just kind of, again, that controlled motion is what we're looking for. And the two young men that we're going to keep, I think they do the best job of having their pigs under control and driving around the ring out of this group out here. So we're going to excuse these others, but as we do, let's give them a big round of applause.
Yeah, out.
Coming back from Heat 3, or for Class 3, will be Samuel Carroll and Peyton Williams.
Good job, Peyton. Good job, Peyton. Come on, Holly. Holly.
In the ring for Intermediate Class 4, Waylon White, Caitlin Pettyjohn, Mason Kramer, Tyler Moore, Cheyenne Lalonde, Shepard Simmons, Colton Harvey, Lawson Bartlett, Annabeth Green, and Holly Carroll.
Just hanging up on the fence, the game you done.
We'd like to recognize the diamond sponsors of this year's fair. The diamond sponsors of the Alachua County Youth Fair and Livestock Show are Alachua County Farm Bureau, Farm Credit, Ray's Metalworks, Cowboys Barbecue, and DW Pest Control. Let's give those sponsors a big round of applause.
Come on, Lawson. Take him to it. Take him to it. Good shot, Lawson.
I'm just going to keep the one young lady out of this heat here. And out of this group, I can tell you that there's a number of you in here that are close to making that cut. You know, you've got pretty good control 85, 90% of the time. You know, you're driving your pig, you're in the right place. But then you lose control. They go to the corner, you get turned around, you cross in front of cross between the pig and me, and things like that. So it's little things. Like I said, there's several of you that are almost right there. Again, you know, just keep on working on those things and paying attention. You know, having that good eye contact, having that ring awareness of where you are. You know, that, you know, as a whole, this group here, your speed's a little better, your awareness is better. But like I said, it's just kind of like you're almost there, and just you kind of zone out on me every now and then, or your pig doesn't want to cooperate every now and then, and that's what just barely keeps you from making the cut. But again, let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause as they exit the ring.
Coming back from Intermediates Class 4, we'll have Cheyenne Lalonde. Don't forget to join us on Tuesday for the market animal sale. All the market animals will be sold on Tuesday. That sale is also available online, and you can register as a buyer ahead of time. So again, the market sale will be on Tuesday, and you can register online starting now.
Come on, Emmett.
Who wants to see them friends before we let anybody get by?
Back in the ring for the final drive of Intermediate Showmanship, we have Emery Bryan, Christopher Hines, Blake Castles, Samuel Carroll,
Bring him on, buddy.
Peyton Williams, and Cheyenne Lalonde.
Got a good group of showmen out here. This is a fairly challenging group of 6. None of them have a perfect run out here, so that's kind of, you got to pick and choose your poison in terms of placing them and where you want to put them and things like that. You know, I think there's 2 or 3 that kind of work their way to the top and have the, you know, probably the most fault-free run out here in terms of what they do and doing things right, and what they do wrong is not that kind of, you know, just like a mortal sin in showmanship. So we kind of have to sort them from there in terms of, you know, how they get them, how they keep those pigs moving, how they, you know, their intensity level out here in the show ring and things like that, and just how they, you know, how they draw your eye and how they, you know, present those pigs. We're going to start this class with the young man here in front of me with the white barrel. I think he just has the smoothest run from start to finish. Yeah, he didn't do everything perfect. He got behind me one time over here in the corner, and that's one reason why I went over there, to see if those pigs were going to try to go towards that gate and things like that, see if they could keep them away from that gate. But he does a good job. I like his style. He's intense. He's got that showmanship look. He uses that whip to, like I said, to more or less guide that pig. He doesn't really, you know, he keeps that barrel driving and doesn't have to get overly aggressive with the whip to keep that pig doing what he wants to do. And second, we're going to have the young man with the blue belted barrel here, or gilt, again, when he first came out in the heat, again, he just really caught my eye, and I knew he stood a shot to win this division. But again, there's a few times he just gets a little too fast in terms of your movements around the front end of the pig or the back end of the pig. You just get a little too aggressive. Just make sure you stay calm and keep that same steady speed throughout. And you know, I think again, you do that, and it certainly improves your chances to win this class. Next, we're going to have the young man here with the off-belted barrel here, with the 4H tie, the green tie on. Again, he's another one that, you know, he doesn't really strike you and catch your attention and get your eye most of the time out here, but he just doesn't do a whole lot of things wrong. What I would change is this pig doesn't drive as well for him. He doesn't keep it in motion. And again, like I said, we've got to keep him in motion. You know, if you could keep this pig driving and keep him moving, and along with your style and your demeanor out here in the ring, I certainly think it makes you more competitive and run you up towards the top of the class, and you know, makes you more competitive and potentially could win this class, you know, if you've got that pig moving the entire time. Then, you know, so that's our top 3. Then it gets down to, again, some exhibitors who just kind of, you know, we could change some different things about them, but, you know, again, they do a pretty decent job. In fourth, we're going to have the young man here with the solid white barrel. I think he just kind of keeps that pig driving a lot of times. He gets a little too far out for me sometimes. You know, too far away from me, gets over towards the edge of the rail, things like that. You know, if he could keep him in better distance and better relationship to where I'm standing in the ring, that certainly improves his chances as well. And then coming out fifth is going to be the young man here with the spotted up pig. Again, he does a pretty good job. You know, he catches your eye, he keeps your attention. But multiple times he got over there behind me, walked the pig right behind me and right back around in front of me, things like that. You know, we talked about, you know, making sure you stay in front of the judge. You want to make sure you're out there in front of where I'm looking and in my line of sight and that sort of thing. Driving them back and forward and you know, away from me and towards me, things like that. The young lady that's going to be sixth in the class. Again, she had a really good drive coming out of the heat. Her partner didn't want to cooperate with her out here. She, you know, that barrel or that gilt wanted to stay on the rail a little more. She did keep her driving. She kept her moving. But again, she was over here on the rail. She wasn't in the right place, and it just gets hard when you got a partner that doesn't want to cooperate. But let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause out here in this intermediate championship group.
For intermediate showmanship, in first place was Emery Bryan. Second place, Peyton Williams. Third place, Christopher Hines. Fourth place, Samuel Carroll. And fifth place was Blake Castles. I'm sorry. In the ring for senior class 1, we have Logan Shine, Danielle Hodge, Laura Kleckner, Ezra Johnston, Brooke Walding, Paige Tibbetts, Wyatt Worley, and Ryan Dillard. This year's platinum sponsors of the fair are B&M Equipment Rental, Clay Electric, Parks Ford, Texas Trailers, and Watson C&D. Let's give those sponsors a big round of applause.
Got 6 heats of these seniors. We're going to keep 3 out of this first one. You know, we may have a big final drive out here. I don't know exactly what the rest of them are going to look like. You know, and again, I don't think anybody has a perfect run out here in this heat. Maybe when they come back out here, there'll be a little bit of a different, you know, a little different setting. They may work a little differently and that sort of thing. One of the things that you know, I think all these seniors, as we start out here, you know, if you've been listening, you know, talk about not getting behind me and things like that. I don't think you know, most of you tried to do a good job staying in front of me. One of the things that I would suggest, though, we've got a good sized ring. You know, use the ring like you know, you don't have to keep them in a bunch right here. You know, instead of turning them on a dime, you know, to go back in another direction, make a big sweeping turn. You know, it's hard to get those pigs to just stop and then turn around and pivot and go the other direction. You know, make sure you sweep them around and make circles and things like that instead of just trying to to stop them and turn them on a dime. And that I think will help you some in terms of what you're trying to do and get those pigs driving and keep them driving. Like I said, if we go to getting on their face and their nose too much, they're going to stop. If you want to keep them going forward, you got to be behind them and behind that shoulder instead of up on that nose and that sort of thing. So just kind of keep that in mind and work on those things down the road. But like I said, we're going to keep these 3 and excuse the rest out of this heat. Let's give all these a big round of applause as they exit the ring.
Coming back from Senior Class 1, Logan Shine, Danielle Hodge, and Ezra Johnston. In the ring for Seniors Class 2, Spencer Bates, Allison DeFranco, Zach Williams, Kyle Dyksterhouse, Anna Lee Tidwell, Abigail Carey, Owen Tyner, and Autumn Dowling. Don't forget to stop by the fundraising table at the west side of the stands. You can buy raffle tickets for gift baskets from Daisy's Creation and Michelle Farms. Ticket for $1 or 6 tickets for $5. You can also enter a raffle for a cut and wrapped hog, $1 a ticket or 6 tickets for $5. You can also enter a raffle for Texas Trailers 12-foot stock trailer, 1 for $20 and 6 tickets for $100. You need not be present to win, and winners will be picked on Tuesday, March 9th. Those are also available online at www.acyfls.com.
We're going to keep 3 out of this heat as well. And again, it's kind of you know, I think we got 3 that really kind of rise their way or work their way to the top in terms of their speed, the way they work those pigs, and the way they have control over them. You know, and again, along with that, the intensity that they have, that look and that style and of the way they drive those pigs. You know, they're not too relaxed, but at the same time, they're not too stiff and tight as they move around the ring. You know, there's a fine line and a balance of how you've got to be and carry yourself, and you know, you got to stay cool, calm, and collected. You can't get aggravated. You can't get frustrated with your pigs and things like that, or get too relaxed at the same time. So, you know, those are some things that bring them to the top. Like I said, we're going to excuse these others and bring them back, those 3 back for the final drive here in just a little bit. But let's give all these others a big round of applause.
Coming back from senior class 2, Allison DeFranco, Zach Williams, and Kyle Dyksterhouse. In the ring for senior class 3, we have Matthew Green, Veda Bristow, Chloe Fiegel, Ava Adams, Tony Myers, Matthew Berry, Ace Castles, and Kristen Mason.
We're just going to keep the one young man out of this heat here. And you know, again, I've talked about it multiple times. You know, you want to keep those pigs in front of them, and I think every one of them at one time or another walked around there behind me, including the young man we're keeping. But kind of what keeps him in this heat versus some of the others is he probably drives with the most control. That pig is the most steady speed and in motion the entire time and things like that. So that's kind of what brings him back for this heat. For the rest of them, I said, you know, like I've said before, make sure you keep that pig out there in front of me and make sure you keep him under control and drive him with control. That's the biggest advice that I'd have for you moving forward. But let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause as they exit the ring.
Coming back from senior class 3 will be Matthew Green. Coming in the ring for seniors class 4, Robert Mays, Samantha Pernini Dykes, Ace Pearson, John Ford, Kendall Williams, Ashlyn Samora, Leslie Philpott, and Zane Clark. We'd like to recognize this year's bronze sponsors of the Youth Fair. The bronze sponsors are Sanders Grading, Kiwanis, Daisy Creations and Michele Farms, TCB Services, Utter Club, Jack Gaskin, DVM, and JR and Crystal Richburg. Let's give those sponsors a big round of applause.
Spread your legs, pass them through. You'll never hear me say that to you again.
Going to keep a couple of them out of this heat here. And again, one of the things I can't stress enough is in showmanship, unlike the weight classes, it's not my job to go find you. You're showing them to me. So you've got to keep them in front of me. You know, you've got to keep them out there where in front of my line of sight. You know, if you stay behind me the entire time and only just kind of briefly bring them out there and get them in front of me, then go right back behind me, I don't get a good look at them. I don't get a good look at you. And so, like I said, again, it's your job as a showman to bring that pig to me. When I'm judging the weight classes, it's my job as the judge to evaluate those animals. But in showmanship, you've got to keep them out in front of the judge. You've got to keep them driving. You've got to keep them in motion to be able to make the cut and to be able to win showmanships and things like that. So, you know, again, moving forward, you know, looking forward to the next show you go to, you know, just make sure you keep those pigs in the right location. You want to keep them in front of the judge's eyes. Whether I'm standing in one place or I go over here and move around the ring, things like that, you know, if I go change positions, you still want to keep them in front of me and in front of my line of sight instead of getting them back behind me. So again, just some advice moving forward. But let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause as they exit the ring.
Coming back from Class 4 seniors will be Samantha Pernini Dykes and Kendall Williams. In the ring for seniors class 5, Tylee Alton, Caitlin Griffith, Dylan Brady, Rayleigh Steele, Samantha Day, Sarah Henderson, David Moore, and Lydia McGraw. Let's give all these exhibitors a big round of applause.
We're going to keep 3 out of this division here. Again, we've got a couple of them that I do want to kind of mention. They do a good job, but they just kind of don't quite make that cut to get up in there. The young man right here with the belted gilt, he keeps this gilt driving. You know, but to me, you're not using enough of the ring. You know, you're keeping her right here in front. You're keeping her in front of me like I want, but you're keeping her right here. You know, like I said before, you know, kind of bring her out and make those sweeping turns, bring her back around instead of just trying to get on that nose and turn around so fast and things like that. You know, just bring her around, and instead of bringing her just back and forth, you know, start crossing and go away from me and back to me and things like that, and then back and forth and stuff. But like I said, just kind of make those big sweeping turns. And by trying to get on that nose too fast, you just get a little too intense and a little too tight in terms of your body stature and things like that. And I think if you loosen up and relax, I think your gilt will relax more too, and certainly improve your showmanship style. Young lady over here in the corner is another one that I really thought was going to make the cut when she first came out here. I really liked her speed and her style. But then her pig just didn't want to cooperate from there on. She wanted to get on the rail and go back to the corner and find the gate and that sort of thing. And so, again, like I've said before, you've got to have a partner that cooperates with you. The young lady here with the belted gilt is another one. I think, you know, she does a good job keeping that pig driving. She just didn't quite as ring aware as far as where I'm at, and just keeping having enough intensity to move up and make it that cut. But again, those are some just some comments and thoughts that I've got on this heat. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause as they exit the ring.
Coming back from seniors class 5 will be Tylee Alton, Rayleigh Steele, and Sarah Henderson. In the ring for seniors, class 6, Colby Whitfield, Landon Boyd, Taylor Berryhill, Aubrey Freilich, Wyatt Hester, Caitlin Dillard, Riley Stanley, and Chase Holland.
This is the last class. there so you can see it.
We're going to keep the one young lady out of this heat. And again, I've got a couple of them, want to kind of mention and things, little slight things that I would do different and change, and I think they would make the cuts. We'll start with the young lady here with the calico gilt. Part of showmanship is understanding the tools that you're using. That particular whip you've got, you choke way up on it. That particular whip is different from some of these others. It's made to get on that handle and use it differently and make that tassel get up under the chin of that pig and really use it. It's kind of a lighter whip that you know, and if you use it correctly, it can definitely work to your advantage and that sort of thing. I think when you choke up on it, it doesn't give you as much control and ability to drive that pig like you need to. Same with the young lady here. She does a good job most of the time. She just doesn't quite get that pig driving, that gilt driving, and keep her moving enough for my preference. But I think she does a good job when she finally does get her moving. You know, I like her style. Like I said, we just got to keep them in motion more. And again, you know, some of the
Samantha
other
Dykes, you're needed.
Comes down to what we talked about before. You know, make sure you keep them out there in front of me and keep them driving and keep them moving, making those big turns and using the ring like using the space you got out there in the ring. So let's give these exhibitors a big round of applause as they exit the ring.
Samantha Dykes, you're needed in the pig barn. Samantha Dykes, you're needed in the pig barn.
Got 9 back here. Listen, kid. I like it. It's hard.
Coming back in the last class will be Caitlin Dillard. In the ring for the final drive of senior showmanship, Logan Shine, Danielle Hodge, Ezra Johnston, Allison DeFranco, Zach Williams, Kyle Dyksterhouse, Matthew Green, Kendall Williams, Samantha Dykes, Rayleigh Steele, Sarah Henderson, Tylee Alton, and Caitlin Dillard.
Exactly.
Don't forget to stop by the fundraising table at the west end of the stands. You can buy raffle tickets for various gifts, and you can also add on to the steer that was mentioned earlier tonight. Please be sure to check those out before you go home tonight. Thank you.
I'm going to keep 6 out of this final drive here that we're going to bring back in to get our top 5 out of. We're going to excuse the rest of them here so I can kind of do a little more work on those top 6 that we got in here. Again, we've got some excellent showmen out here. You know, they've done a good job. And, you know, it kind of goes back to some of the things they did in their heats. They've improved on them out here for the most part. But again, we just kind of, you know, there's a certain style and intensity and smoothness. And, you know, I think that's, you know, if they're going to work on some things moving forward, that's what they would work on. You know, kind of watch, you know, when you go to shows, watch those that are winning. Watch those in the classes. Listen to what the judge says and take those things to heart and really kind of learn from them. And, you know, that's kind of how you get better. It's just studying who's winning, studying what's going on in the ring, and then you just improve from there. But let's give those big round of applause as they exit the ring, and we're going to work these top 6 here and get your top 5 out of them. So. Let's all put your hands together for this group of senior showmen out here. I think you got an excellent group out here, this top 6, and they've done a really good job. Again, none of them's had a perfect run. You know, they're seldom, really, there isn't any such thing as a perfect run, but I've seen a few come pretty close to it before. But you know, like I mentioned before, when I judge showmanship, I can really judge showmanship probably faster than what I do the weight classes sometimes, because you know, when I see them come in and when I know what I like, when I know what I've taught my students, when I know what I've taught my own children over the years, over the past 20-something years, you know, when you see that come in the ring, when you see those same techniques and those styles and things like that that you've been teaching students and kids for the last, you know, couple of decades, you know, it stands out, and it's easy to just kind of sort them out and get them up there to the top of the class and things like that. And that's one reason why, you know, sometimes I can work a little faster in showmanship. But, you know, as we watch them out here walking, you know, everybody's still showing, nobody's finished yet. You know, they don't know who's going to win yet, so they've got to keep on working them, keep on driving them. So you know, they don't know. I may not even made up my mind yet. So the one that thinks they're in first, they could end up in dead last. You never know. But while they're still out here driving, again, I mentioned it last night, but I want to take the opportunity to thank y'all for having me down here. Appreciate y'all calling me to come and judge the kids, evaluate the kids and the animals. You know, it's been a pleasure to work with the kids. They've been a respectful group. You know, they've been very polite in the ring, polite to each other, polite to the ring help, polite to me. It's just been a pleasure to be down here and work with these kids. And let's give them all a round of applause, not just the ones out here in the ring, but all the kids in the show. So I guess, you know, again, we've got 6 excellent showmen out here, and we're placing the top 5. And we've got a few that just kind of immediately reigned their way to the top, you know, that they kind of stood out in their heats, and they come out here and they do an excellent job, and they continue to stand out here in this final drive. And you know, I kind of came over here on the rail and stood there. I preached about them walking behind me all night long, and every one of them drove them to me and drove them in front of me. However, when you do that, and I'm still standing there on the rail, you still don't want to walk behind me. So, you know, there's a few of them that our best showmen that still didn't get that quite right. You know, if I'm standing on the rail, you want to just bring them in front of me, turn right back around, and come right back in front of me. Just kind of keep making a loop right back and forth in front of me. Instead of looping around me and coming back around, just making circles around me. So, you know, those kind of things, you know, make a difference. It's not the only thing that I place the class on. You know, it kind of makes a difference in a few placings here and there. But, you know, again, we have an excellent group. And to me, the one that had the most fault-free drive out here today that's going to win our showmanship class is the young man right here in front of me. I just think he did an excellent job really driving that barrel. Again, he went behind me a couple times when I was over there on the rail, but he kind of corrected that, and he started kind of going back and forth. As he continues to work that pig and he shows him, he's just really smooth. I like his style. I like his intensity that he has, his stature, the way he moves around the pig. He keeps the same speed that he's moving at. He's moving, doesn't get too slow, doesn't get too fast, and that's what brings him to the top of the class. The one that most closely follows him and really like the style is going to be the young man right here with the belted gilt. Again, I like his style. He's calm. He's smooth in his showmanship style. You know, where they change in showmanship style, the young man that wins is just a tick more intense, you know, but again, not too intense. He could be just a little bit more intense in his style, but at the same time, he's a little taller, so it's harder to do that. So, you know, you got some give and take in terms of, you know, when you're working them and figuring out what the best position, the most comfortable position is for you. And he's one of them that kind of just made circles around me over here when I was up against the rail. You know, and when it comes down to some of those things, you know, he never quite, you know, adjusted to that and started going back and forth. And so, you know, if you get running that situation again, don't go behind the judge. You just keep going back and forth in front of him. The one person that kind of did do that the correct way the whole time, and then she continued to have a good drive out here, is going to be the young lady with the blue Rollin pig here. Over there on the rail, she just continued to walk back and forth. She'd walk that pig in front of me, turn him right back around, and go right back in front of me again. Where I'd try to criticize her and critique her and change her is just her posture. You know, she needs to get a little bit more comfortable in her posture. She you know, and have that balance of intensity and relaxation, and when she's moving around the ring. But she does a good job. She drives that pig out there. She makes those big sweeping turns. She keeps him moving, and that's what we want to see. The rest of when it come down to the next three, when we're talking about for our 4th and 5th place, you know, we run into some issues in terms of keeping them driving and keeping them moving. You know, they do a good job. You know, those pigs want to slow down and stop on them a little bit more. And so, you know, it just kind of comes down to some different things and how well they continue to drive. For me, in 4th, we're going to go with the young lady right here with the blue Rollin bear, the blue blood bear right here. She just, you know, again, kind of, you know, she got a little far out there sometimes, but again, she was using the ring and making those big turns and coming back. And when she was driving, she kept that pig smooth and moving around the ring in a smooth manner and smooth fashion. Young lady that's going to be 5th is over here in the corner with this bear. Again, she had a better run out here in the final drive than she did in the heat as far as keeping this bear driving and keeping him moving. However, one of the things I talked about was using that ring and making the big sweeping turns. She's still trying to turn him on a dime, and that causes him to stop for a lot of times and doesn't quite drive out and move as much as I'd like to see him moving. Young lady's going to round out the class again. She did an excellent job. Again, it just kind of comes down to keeping them driving. You know, if she keeps this pig driving and keeps her in motion the entire time, she's easily up there in the top 3 or 4 of this class. But again, like I said, we judge pigs in motion, we judge showmanship in motion, and that's what makes a big difference. Keep that pig driving, and you're going to continue to get better. But an excellent group of showmen. Let's give them all another big round of applause.
In 1st place, Zach Williams. 2nd place, Kyle Dyksterhouse. 3rd place, Caitlin Dillard. 4th place, Rayleigh Steele. And 5th place was Danielle Hodge. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow for the beef show at 6.